Right, so it's been. Why isn't my avatar moving? Um, hello? Please move, you dumb little thingy. Dumb little. Ah, there we go. There we go. Got it. Got it. Well, okay, now it's been 4 minutes. So, I'm back a little later, than I would like, as always. It's mostly because I had other plans, with a friend, and then those plans didn't happen. So I took the opportunity. Uh, these streams are going to be a lot more sporadic, kind of like how they used to be. Hopefully, I can do them a little bit more frequently, uh, because I'm back at school. So, yeah. Well, so what happened last time in the Fontaine story quest? So we proved my son Lyney's innocence. That was incredibly fun. And we learned about his surprisingly disturbing past. Uh, and alas, the traveler doesn't really trust him very much. So that was a little sad. Actually, no, that was very sad. What am I talking about? Eh, But yeah, so just but yeah, so might as well just go ahead and start playing. Hopefully the damn game won't crash on me because I've heard that like and have experienced it in the previous streams that like Fontaine has this issue with crashing on computers sometimes. So let's hope that that doesn't happen this stream. Uh so we're just gonna where is the infinite void? Ah, so actually, first things first. I'm doing this cool little little art piece here. It's Osamu Dazai from Bungo Stray Dogs because it has been kind of sort of my hyperfixation at the moment. Okay. The real thing. Dang, verifying file integrity. Okay, so I guess we're waiting for a little more. Darn it. Dang. Uh, so recently, the social medias of Genshin just like re-released the character designs of Lyney and his sister and his well of his siblings. And they're really sad. Like it's the exact same piece of art, but he's not smiling anymore and like they changed the backgrounds. And I was like, dang. His story was like I was shocked, honestly. Like cuz I mentioned this in the previous stream when we learn about this, but like Genshin doesn't it's not afraid to get dark. It really, really isn't. Most of the dark topics that they cover are like government corruption. But the thing with Lyney was like basically human trafficking, child trafficking, which had me like so shocked. The only thing I wish that was better with the stream was that like I didn't peak the mic so much because I was like pretty much the entire time I was like, what? What is this? So it was a fun thingy. Okay, actually, sorry, I'm going back to the infinite void a little bit. I'm just checking. Should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah, okay. Should be fine. Oh my goodness, what is it? Preparing to load data. Ah, there we go. And let's go in. So, the last time, after we learned about Linny and we kind of left him, basically saying, like, sorry man, I can't trust you, we meet up with this, girl named Navia, who wants us to continue an investigation that we do not want to be a part of. And that basically kickstarts Act 2 of Fontaine, which I think is like, I think it's just Act 1 and 2 that are out right now. So now we just have to wait. And it's loading. But I'm pretty excited for this part because I think Tartaglia appears. Yeah, Tartaglia appears in this part, in this like act, and I'm like really excited for it. Oh, I missed this. This is a little early. Um, no, Nomad RL91X says, "Yo, Pep." Oh, yeah, I was grinding for artifacts. And Hydro Crystal Fly. Oh, because they added like a new underwater region because it's Fontaine. It's the Hydro Nation. It means collect all of mine. If it doesn't break, please don't break. I really don't want you to break. Ah, new mode for this. Okay. Is everything the same? Yep, it is indeed. Anything new here? Nope. Alright, I'm just gonna... Let me check if he has all of his artifacts. Indeed, he does. Alright. So, let's, go to the hotel. Navigate. Oh yeah, they added, like, layers to the map as well, which I am, like, so happy that they added this in, because in Sumeru, they have a lot of, like, underground regions that, like, all of these little, like, flower markers here, all of these are basically entrances to, like, these caves, and I did that to keep track of them, and they finally added this. And one of the things that frustrated me when I was exploring Sumeru, so happy that they added this here. So I don't think we'll be meeting the siblings. Meeting. We already met them. I don't think Lyney and Lynette will be part of this act because we kind of left them on bad terms, which kind of sucked. Because I said this in my previous stream, but like another reason why it's like a playable anime to me is because although the Traveler is the player character, they are their own character, and a lot of the things that they do, like, aren't really stuff that you expect from a silent protagonist, I guess? Because, like, a lot of the decisions they make is stuff that the player typically doesn't want to do, and basically not having any trust in Lyney is one of them, because he basically tells us his whole, like, tragic backstory, and he's one of, like, the good guys that we know of, and we're like, no. Let's go in.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
We haven't eaten in a hotel at all. This entire time we've just kind of been like living outside, and that one little home thingy that they offered us in Sumeru.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Bro, I love Navia's design. It is so pretty. Like she just embodies like Victorian fantasy France. It's so pretty.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things.
She brings an entire stove wherever she goes.
Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
That is true. Let me see what they have. They got a garlic bread, good. Some soup, nice. Hey, fish and chips, yeah! Fish and chips. It's like an actual meal they have here. Ah, it's amazing. Some steak, chicken, lasagna, I'm assuming? Yeah, it seems pretty good. It's certainly worth celebrating.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
So Nomad says, are the swimming mechanics sound or feel good? In my opinion, they feel pretty good. When you're just like wandering around and exploring. The combat is a little iffy, but I can kind of forgive it because they can't really do the normal combat because they're underwater. Uh, the general like exploration, I think it's pretty good. And I am so happy that they didn't put like a breath meter. They just kind of like, you can go in the water now, which is, I'm so happy they did that because it's like one of the reasons why I don't like the ocean biomes in Minecraft because of the little like breath meter. You can't really stay underwater for too long.
Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
Yes, here, have all of it. I'm like your grandma at a party.
Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
Very, very, very
If
suspicious
it
here.
hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Hmm.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct.
I don't have any high hopes at all. Knowing the track record of this country.
It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists.
Okay.
Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Okay, so the Spina di Rusa is like it's like a thing that she either runs or is a part of. I'm still not completely sure. She's like involved with this organization, I think. Not gonna lie, I assumed it was a mafia. And you know, it might be, because her little bodyguards are literally like just men with suits and sunglasses. But so far it seems like they're more of like a detective group, detective agency thingy. If you missed the last couple streams, like because I've been like rewatching and I'm on just like a Bungo Stray Dogs like brain rot, the entire like murder mystery court trial thing that Fontaine has is just it's just giving me more like detective stuff. And like I was able to guess who the perpetrator was because I was like, hey, this is like an episode from Bungo.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
Sometimes they are, Paimon. Sometimes. Other times, it's just weird.
It's all
Crazy.
right.
Wild.
Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right?
I'm waiting for like something to interrupt this meeting.
Let's talk about something else. Like,
Oh?
what are your future plans?
We wanted to ask the Hydro Archon for some information, but we haven't had much opportunity to do so.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
Oh, definitely not.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon.
Yep. That is our objective in literally every single nation that we visit. But it always, we have to get involved with like a full season of anime of plot before we even have an actual conversation about what we actually want to talk about. So how's your day going, Navia?
I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some
Oh?
more,
Oh?
unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Hello? Are you telling us to break the laws? As if we don't do that literally every other nation we meet. Every other nation we go to. It's like, in every nation we visit in this damn game, in this world, it's always, primary objective is to speak with the Archon, but, like, an entire plot unravels while we're trying to do that. And we always have to do stuff with questionable legality. Most of the time, making a rebellion. Most of the time.
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy
Okay,
ideas.
so she's the boss.
Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to
Sneak into her
infiltrate a
chambers.
performance troupe at the Opera House,
That
only
too.
to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance.
It's a bit of a weird one, though. I don't know.
I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Okay.
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then
Okay.
wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
Yeah, she's like a god?
I can personally testify that this one works.
Okay.
When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
Sure, okay, whatever you say.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
How can you overlook something like that?
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break.
Nomad says, so animal rescue rangers? I am assuming you're talking about Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, because it's the only one that that popped into my mind. I've never seen the show, but I have seen the movie.
You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations.
That is true.
False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
It's worth a try. Would someone with her personality really feel shame? No, Lumine, listen. The people who are the most arrogant are typically the people with, like, the tiniest egos. She probably, like, practices every word she says in the mirror.
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Paimon always takes all the food.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
I'd have to agree. My drink also tasted that way too.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah,
Rich.
we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
I love that she had like no reaction when we're like, yeah, your drink kind of sucks. I love that she's just like, oh,
Oh,
okay, I guess we're not having that
so
anymore.
full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
You could try walking, you know. You could do the cursed thing that every Mimi animator loves to do.
Nah, that would be so normal. You know, like you.
Wow, thanks, Paimon.
Okay. As for expenses this month,
Dude,
we're left with...
girl.
Huh.
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Thinking.
Nothing, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Seems that was pretty tough for her. That was a pretty pricey meal. All thanks to Paimon. Damn. So I guess she's not that rich. Got it. So, how dare you, Paimon? Look what you did.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority.
Sweet.
In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Hey! As light rain falls without reason, Act 2 begins. Alright! Go to the fountain in front of the opera house. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So this is the hotel. There's a little marker here. Okay, didn't know there was one. Probably, because we put more trash in the ocean than the ocean is capable of cleaning. Justo. Dummy. Little dum-dum. Little poo-poo brain. Nomad says, wanna talk to the Archon? Take a number and go adventuring. Moral ambiguity for the win. It's all part of the course. It's a pelican! Oh my god, it's a steampunk pelican. It's so cute. It is so cute. Recently, Francis the Blue Moon has once more denied any accusations of nepotistic relations with the Borgia family. That's so cute. Mafia and Fontaine, hold up. No. Let me read that again. No. No! Okay, well we know that there is a Mafia in Fontaine because I just read that. Okay, so we're going to the fountain. Can I teleport to the fountain? Yes, I can. Oh man, I love the Opera House so much. Already one of my favorite locations. Ooh, this music. That's some nice music. And I am so happy. I mean, obviously the music in Fontaine slaps, but one of the things I was worried about is because, look, I love Mondstadt with every fiber of my being, but I always complained about how the music of Mondstadt is like very generic. It's like the most generic medieval fantasy music you can think of. And one of my friends said like maybe it's because it's European music, because Liyue is inspired by China, Inazuma's Japan, Sumeru is like the Middle East, Egypt region. And we basically talked about how, like, you know, probably what is probably the case is that because we're so used to hearing European music, it doesn't sound as cool. And part of me was like, maybe. But I feel like they can make European music slap. And then Fontaine came out, and I was like, I knew it. Because I think difference is that Mondstadt's music is more like basic orchestra, like orchestral symphony. Meanwhile, Fontaine's music is a lot more, I don't know if folk is the right word. I don't know if folk is the right word, but more, it's like, I don't know, traditional, I guess. It's like music you'd hear, like, from, like a street musician, or from like a really small band, and not like a Shakespeare opera thing. I don't know how to describe it, because I want to say folk music, but I don't know if that's the right term. Anyway, back to the plot.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Oh, hello?
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Yes, and it's clearer than it was during the day.
Ugh. That's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Oh my goodness, they are loud. Apologies if you can, like, hear that in the background. That's kind of spooky. Are you sure you don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
Hey, yo, are we okay? I can feel strong emotions. Things are getting a little blurry. Yo, are we okay?
Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
That's ominous. Okay. Oh, hello. Hello? Where's this?
Vache. Are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
I'm afraid not. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know.
Who are you?
My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
You were once human?
Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who has lost their form.
You lost your form?
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Light blue water. Could you be one of the girls who were dissolved?
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me, and I also loved him equally as much.
Wait. So, was she turned into an Oceanid? Or was she an Oceanid who took human form? Because in the summer event we learned that Oceanids can do that. So either was she a human that became an Oceanid, or was she an Oceanid that was in human form and reverted back? But does this imply all of the Oceanids are actually people? Like normal people?
But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
So you need me to find him?
No. Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters.
Fontaine's more acoustic style is pretty chill. Yeah, that's a good word. That's a very good word. Acoustic, yes. They use much more, well, yeah, string instruments. I think that's what it is. Actually, that might be exactly what Big Difference is, because Mondstadt's music is primarily, like, woodwind instruments, like flutes and trumpets and just, like, instruments that you blow into, because it's Mondstadt, it's the city of the wind, so wind instruments. And that might be it. That might be it, because, like, yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say, like, orchestra, like, when you think, like, generic fantasy stuff, it's usually either, like, violins or it's, like, the brass section in a band. That might be it. And maybe it's just maybe it's also because, like, it's my affinity for, like, guitars and mandolins, and that's probably one of the reasons why I love it a lot.
If you meet Vacher, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
I believe it will be pretty hard for him to forget you.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vacher above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
That means Vacher was a witness to the fact that you dissolved?
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release.
Okay.
It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
It seems that after the body is dissolved, some measure of the consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
It makes me think, like, I don't know if this sounds weird, but it feels like dissolving is kind of like dying, but you're not dead. If that makes any sense. Because, like, you know, the terms of, like, the sweet release of death and, like, rest in peace, you know? But they're not dead. Or at least I don't think they are. So I think it's more of, like, it's something akin to death, but they're not, like, actually dead. Is that Paimon? Ah, right. I wonder how much time has passed in reality.
Farewell, then.
We wake up, like, 50
glad
years
that
have
you were
passed.
able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vacher, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Okay. Oh, cinematic cutscene, sweet!
Come on, hurry! Navia's outnumbered!
Oh. Yo!
Someone's out! Look out!
Oh. Is it Spellblade? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's a whole army of Gardamex.
She said, "Dear God." Okay.
Rand?
Florand? Okay. Okay, bye. Alright, they dissolve. Sweet.
Quick, now's our chance!
Is she gonna fight her? Gun, gun, gun. She used the gun, she used the gun, she used the gun. That's so cool. Are they gonna be friends or enemies? I wish they become friends. I want them to be friends. Smile. She smiled. That was hype, that was hype.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clorand.
Clorand, okay.
But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
Okay. Are you Vasher? Nope, sorry man. Lost form? Dissolved? Sounds legit. Oceanid in humans forms. Sounds like a Little Mermaid meets Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, that's what it kind of seems like.
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Just a tad.
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will
Okay.
not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Okay, I kind of assumed they were enemies. I don't know why, they just kind of seemed like enemies from all of, like, the promotional stuff. Well, Navia doesn't seem to like her very much, but...
Do not speak of my father.
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
What?
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
I love her bodyguards.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with a Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law.
Okay.
I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
Whoever it is must have a lot of money, because those were a lot of robots.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Maybe.
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Seems like Clorand is more of like a
Right.
mother
I
figure.
suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
What just happened? Who was that?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Oh, so you're a fighter now, Paimon? Thanks for the rescue, Navia.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast.
Yep, seems like I am stuck with you for the next 15 hours.
As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
I love her little, like, bodyguard servants.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
Wait, do you mean that? I thought it tasted strange as well, but I couldn't be sure. Wait, what?
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted salty? The color of
Is
the
it
drink, if I
Fanta?
recall, had also been a bit
Like the
off.
soda? Like the soda Fanta?
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me,
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Ooh.
Huh. Really?
Fortunately, Paimon, neither of us are from Fontaine. Otherwise, we would have been...
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Lyney in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
It's probably because we found out that whoever's doing this is using water that dissolves people. And it's like, oh, we just kind of like unveiled like a pretty big clue to the mystery. And they kind of want to take us out.
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
According to Lynette, the ability to hear voices like that has to do with one's sensitivity to the hydro element.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
Probably. Nomad says that was a sick cutscene. That was a very sick cutscene. If I were to give it like a tiny baby criticism, man, I wish I actually knew what was going on. That's like one of my little baby issues with Genshin like cinematic cutscenes is that the fight scenes are awesome. It's so cool. But they move around the camera so much that I can barely tell what's going on. It's like when you're reading like a fight scene in a manga. I don't know if any of you guys have read fight scenes in mangas. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just reading them wrong. They always confuse me. The animation and the choreography is so cool. Let's see. Friend, enemy, guardian, free enemy it is then. Brendan says, "Hi, I'm new to your channel. What are you doing?" I am playing Act 2 of the Fontaine quest in Genshin Impact. I've been doing a lot of these recently because I really, really wanted to play the one of the big Archon quests on my channel.
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
I also gained some new intel.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Axel says hi. Hello.
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
The voice in the fountain belonged to one of the missing women. A person named Vachier was a witness when she dissolved.
Oh, that is important.
You tell everyone what happened while you were connected to the ocean, its consciousness.
Vache. That
Vache.
name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
If he's still alive, we should try searching for him.
Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
By we, you mean us too, right? I love how one of them is alright, partner, and then the other one's more hesitant.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Messing with us will cost them. This will prove to be their biggest mistake. Man, it is always, ever since Inazuma, it's always been, there's an issue, we don't want to get involved with the issue, but we're forced to be involved with it anyway. Whether it be, like, by guilt trip, or because it's, like, personally making us, like, be unable to talk with the god. And it seems with this one, let's like, oh crap, there's a person who effectively tried to kill us. Let's find him.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
What, I can't smile?
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
It's all part of the plan. Axel says, I remember you did Ruby animations. Indeed I did. Indeed I did. They are a pretty big mark on my channel's history.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
So I guess we're just crashing with these people now. I cannot read that. I cannot read that achievement. Let's see. Wait, no, the achievements are not here. Is it a world? Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, I can't read it. No hope in trying. Alright. So I guess we're back in the hotel, or... No, we're just going there. This one, I guess. Whoa, okay, why did it say highly dangerous? Excuse me? Hello? What? Why is it dangerous? We didn't do anything, we just went to... We were just like, whoa, okay. That's ominous. Okay, so we're going close to what are basically slums. It's the entrance to, like, the slum area. Which I am so happy they added.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Huh, very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, Traveler.
So basically our accommodations are in the slums. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, I approve. It's pretty nice. I am, like, so happy that they added this in the game, though, because when I found out that Fontaine was going to be, like, inspired by the Industrial Revolution, I was like, if they do not add slums, I'm going to be, like, I'm not gonna be mad, but, like, I was like, man,
what my dear sister Lynette is doing.
Shut up, Lyney. I was like, man, I wish that they add slums, because little historical fun fact for you people, but slums, as we know them, didn't really become a thing until the Industrial Revolution. And it's like, you know, there's always been poor people, but like there's a difference between being poor and living in the slums. There's like a little difference there. And the Industrial Revolution is a big reason why it was made, and it partly has to do with the fact that for in a short period of time there was like this giant influx of people moving into the city, more than these cities could handle. So they just kind of like crammed everybody into like one section, which kind of sort of became the slum. Kind of went on a little history lesson here. What I'm saying is that like I was like, if this is going to be inspired by the French Revolution, I want to see some like classism going on. Axel says, "Good job on your Lorax No Children animatic." Thank you so much. That was, man, I worked on that basically the entire summer. And I'm proud of it. I wish it didn't take so long to make. But I was busy that summer. But I'm so happy people like it. Because I like it. I like it a little bit more than Biggering, I'm not gonna lie. But it's probably because, you know, you like learn stuff with like every project you make. And like you slowly improve. Okay. Whoa, that was a ominous little change in music. I wish the water was polluted though. The water should not be this this beautiful, beautiful blue. I know I can teleport there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to follow. I'm going to follow the path. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. How you doing? How's it been? These cats. Oh, I'm digging the little... This little, like, awkward jazz. I'm digging it. Like the faint moonlight of yesteryear. This is giving me, like, over the garden wall vibes. Ah, there you are. Okay. Oh my god.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Axel says, have you heard of the theory of the Onceler being Ted's grandpa? Yes, 100%. I have heard that theory. And, not gonna lie, I low-key buy into that. Low-key, just a tiny bit. A little bit. I'm like 100%, I'm certain that is not what the people who made the movie had in mind, but it is a very funny thought.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Thank you. Well, so much for my expectations.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately.
No, see, we blew our budget on our fancy outfits. I mean, you see these fancy little hats that my boys are wearing? You know, each one of those hats was like $200, you know?
After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Okay, so everything they do is donation-based, okay.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Also, I'm also really happy that the Mafia exists in Fontaine. Because that's another thing that became like the thing during the Industrial Revolution. It kind of created like organized crime.
Your father, he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful, in the
Ooh,
streets.
piano.
3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend, but he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
Probably did that because there was something that put you in danger. And probably thought it was like a self-sacrifice, probably to protect her. I'm just thinking. It does seem quite odd. Do you have any clues as to why?
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me.
That right there is probably one of the most normal mom deaths that I have heard. That right there, because I don't know. Typically, when like the mom is like out of the picture in like in like a character, it's usually because they got like really sick when they were like 5 or something and died. And it's a good trope. I've used it myself. But yeah, birth complications is a very like that's a real thing that does happen. More frequent than people think.
And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Seeking the truth for the sake of your family. You know, we're quite alike in that regard.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
So it's like the main theme of Fontaine is definitely like people treating their lives and the lives of others as if it's a story. That must be rough.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Okay.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
No wonder the mood was a little strange between the two of you. Okay, so I guess Clorand is more like a mother figure.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Ms. Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Ms. Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
Then that indicates that he intended to die in that duel. Well, yeah, that's what Navia just said. Okay, a little weird.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway.
Probably a
that's
deal.
the information I wanted to share with you.
Probably had a deal.
Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
No, it's alright. I understand how important this is to you.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah. Paimon's feet.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Are we going to see our little room? See your room? We can? Aw, man. A peaceful night passes under. Okay.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe.
Yeah, it's because, like, none of the, like, rich, dangerous people want to touch this place. That's why. I also want to say that I love that, hey look, we, do canonically have a place to stay in Fontaine. That's sweet. that's a part that I loved in the Sumeru quest, is that they actually gave us, like, a canonical place to stay. Unlike the other regions, where we're just kind of like...
Where did the other two go?
Okay, well, technically there's the teapot, which is also kind of canonical, but, like... We have a place to... Somebody offered it to us.
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard somewhere that Poisson just means, like, fish in French, and I think that's hilarious.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vacher.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
No, sleep is for the weak.
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere.
Okay. Very, sus.
I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vacher person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept.
So this is what we have to do. We have to sneak into Neuvillette's office, and while he's off having his like little tea break, and then we like look through all of his files.
If the Oceanid you met
It's
is one of the
Oceanid.
young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
It's Oceanid.
So Nervalette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we? Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Yeah, they have some like bad blood between them. Probably. Go to Pali. Oh, okay. Alright. Oh, so I guess we're not sneaking in. I guess we're just going up to him and saying like, hi. It's like, hey Navia, can we look at your files? Can we look at your, can we look at your, like, secret government files? Yes, me, a random traveler who just, literally, I've only been in this country for, like, a couple days. Can I see, can I see stuff? Can I look at that stuff, please? Can I teleport here? Yes, yes I can.
The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Palais, okay. I can't with the French. I don't even know if the French is, like, pronounced correctly. But they're pronouncing it than what it's better than what I could do. Which kind of sucks. Like, how dare French, although it's a Romance language, basically not have the accent of Romance languages. Because, like, Italian, easy, I can pronounce that easily, because it's literally just Spanish, but different. Ah, it's the harpsichord! Can I go in here? Nope, okay. I love the harpsichord. Anything here? Nope. We look so out of place.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalette's files are really secure.
Oh yeah, I can tell by the amount of guards that are, like, absolutely everywhere in this palace. Oh, like there's like 3 of them standing in front of the door.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
I think this is Diona's voice actor.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
No.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Lyney.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Lyney's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
Indeed it is.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Skip the sleep, Paimon. You'll get more done. Can't find Vashit, whatever his name is? Check the obituaries or the cemeteries. It may have happened decades ago. It may have. Actually, no, you're right. It probably happened, like, 30 years ago or something.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
But imagine doing just like, okay, so I know that Navia is like a pretty like big deal in Fontaine, but just imagine you just walk into the official government building, go up to like one of the door guards and say, "Hey, could you let me in?" And then we just kind of like, "Don't you remember me? I was part of that like court case." So I am 100% in the right to check all of the files, government files.
Ah, thanks so much.
That's hilarious. So do we just... Oh, it's on that door, okay. Knock on door.
Please, come in.
He really does just let anyone in, alright! Okay. Sexy, sexy man.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
Lied to get in? We basically said everything we said was true. That's why I pointed out that it was silly, okay? Bro, he got high heels.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He
Vacher,
may have been an
okay.
eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
He's so chill.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Yeah, exactly. He's got like a bow in his hair.
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
So we're back to square one. Unless Vacher is like a pseudonym. Which it most likely is. It's probably a pseudonym.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Or that, but probably not.
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should.
Dang.
It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear.
Damn.
If you truly regret my father's death,
Oh my god, she's crying.
then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
Ooh.
my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything.
Damn.
Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
You know, maybe I should do like little hotkeys for my little avatar. Oh my god. That was heavy. That was spam.
Navia, are you okay?
Sorry, okay. So Nomad says, "Oh my, that man. He is so chill and hot at the same time." Literally. No, dude. The second I saw him, I was like, I need to get you. But, oh my god, it's raining. Oh. Ah. That was heavy. Cause, like, I've kind of already been spoiled, or, I don't know. According to all of the fan art that I see, Nuvile is actually a very emotional man. He's very weak emotionally, actually. So the entire time she was saying, like, you don't care, you're apathetic. It's not that you don't feel, it's that you don't allow yourself to feel. And, like, characters almost never cry in Genshin. They almost never do. And, like, with the voice acting, and, like, her desperation and anger towards Nuvile, like a very justified anger. And it's just even sadder with the layer that he probably feels just as bad as she does. That was an amazing scene. That was an absolutely amazing scene. That was gorgeous. I got a little emotional there, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish, like, sometimes I wish I could put little, like, hotkeys for my avatar, but I'm afraid that if I do that, I'll, like, while I'm playing, I'll accidentally, like, hit a key and change an emotion by accident, so I don't. So I just chose the smiley one, because it's very generic. Ooh, damn. I freaking love it when this game gets, like, heavy sometimes. And the music. Man.
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building?
Oh,
there shouldn't be any active trials today.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
Rain.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Your father's case. Was he outside when it happened?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
I love that we're just outside in the rain. But there was something you didn't know at the time.
Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
The fact that people can be turned into water.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain?
Actually, that's probably, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
Bro, I just had like a revelation. So there's this theory floating around that Nuvile is the Hydro Dragon. Because in the Genshin lore, there are these dragons that also, like, represent, like, an element. And there's this theory that Nuvile is the Hydro Dragon, and I actually fully believe the theory. Like, it makes complete sense in my mind. And in Act 1, we talk to Lyney's brother, Fremine, and he talks about how there's this legend in Fontaine about how whenever it's raining in Fontaine, it means that the Hydro Dragon is crying. Like, whenever the Hydro Dragon cries, it rains. And so, assuming that Nuvillette is the Hydro Dragon, and after we leave, it starts raining. Damn.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
Yeah, we should go while the idea is still fresh.
Great. Let's go then.
This is, like, an absolutely amazing, like, act. In Genshin storytelling in general, to be completely honest with you. Where am I? What is this place? I thought it was a town. Okay. Because I lament to say that Genshin storytelling can be, like, pretty hit or miss sometimes, especially, like, in the early days. It's very hit or miss. But, like, it's like moments like that entire scene right there that makes me go, like, fucking love this game.
This is no time for distractions.
Shut up, Lyney.
Seriously, you have a great magician standing right here. You don't want to miss the best part, do you?
This not now, my son. Not now. You can sweet talk me later. I honestly didn't think, like, why is everything highly dangerous for us? Oh, it's this place. Yeah, I like explored this area while I was getting all the teleporters.
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
So Nomad says, can you hotkey to a number pad if your keyboard has it? It does not, and sadly the little numbers that are already on the keyboard, you need to, like, switch the characters, so.
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
Okay, actually, I need to look up if the name of this area really does mean fish in French. I just heard that from somewhere. Let me see. French. It does! It really does just mean fish. That's amazing. I love that.
My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common.
Yeah, she really likes the run-down, rough look. She'd probably be a fan of liminal spaces.
A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
I think I'm starting to get why you like it.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Hot take, but I don't really get it.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
Like that makes sense to me, but like the thing that Paimon said kind of didn't. Alright, talk to Melus on the ship. Okay, yeah, I'll find a way to there somehow. Oh, dang it, there's a hydroculus. Okay. What? He's not here? What does it have? What does it have? Okay. I don't even... I probably should look for it later. Because now I'm all the way down here. Ah, good, bridge. Oh my god, can we fish? Can we fish here? Is there a fishing place?
Scared away again.
No, there isn't. I love that this place is just called Fish. That is so funny. That is absolutely hilarious. I love that. It's so stupid. Some people don't like that. Some people think it's like... I mean, it is stupid, but I think it's stupid in like the endearing way.
Yep. They might have it
No, don't fall. Don't fall. I used the radish. There you are. Hello, kitty.
Maloose, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Maloose? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could the mastermind be the same person?
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson.
Okay.
At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Oh, it's the drug. It's the drug. It's the drug. In Act 1, they talked about how there is this drug in Fontaine where it's I think it is water from the primordial seas, but it's like very diluted, and so like when you drink it, you get like high, basically. And it is illegal in Fontaine, but like people like sell it illegally. It's a drug. Nomad says he is crying. Very man, no, man, if he is the Hydro Dragon, that's depressing. Town of Fish. Fish Town. Fishville? Fishville?
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yeah, it's the drugs.
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything.
Okay, it is a drug.
It's an extremely dangerous substance.
It's an actual drug. Okay, nice to know. I was kind of thinking like, because they describe it as a drug in Act 1, but I'm like, is it a drug or is it just like really hard alcohol? No, it's a drug. It's a drug.
As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them.
Okay.
Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He
Of
felt
course.
greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse.
Of course. Of course that's his name. Of course it is. After seeing it, okay. Oh, he actually felt ashamed? Okay.
That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun,
Oh,
and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
okay.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
So they could have belonged to someone who got dissolved.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Maybe your father got into an argument with Jacques. Or, oh, but it's also possible that the third person was to blame.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth.
I mean, synthwave is pretty addictive. Bro, like, what is it called? I was thinking like vaporwave. I was gonna make a joke about like Simpsons wave. Like, yeah, man, that Simpsons wave is it's pretty strong.
On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark.
Probably did that to protect you.
What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed.
Gee, thanks. Now every time they're gonna say synth, I'm just thinking of synthwave, thanks. Heavy effects using it and heavy repercussions after stopping? Yeah, that's a drug. Yep. Sumeru had something similar, but it was more of like a mental thing, more like a mental drug. I just love how Genshin is just like, hey, we have drugs. We have drugs here.
Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, Demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malus.
Oh? Spill the beans.
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
Ooh.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness.
Of course he was.
The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live, and the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict, but once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful were still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
He gave you the choice to live how you want.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside. nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war.
Yeah, it could.
The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
You think they care?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case.
That too?
We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
It's like, bro, we're in the Industrial Revolution, you know? It's either the authorities don't care, and if they do, they're being controlled.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Maloose.
Oh, the music.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake.
Where's the other guy?
Considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Where's the other guy? The other servant.
Thank you for all of that, Maloose. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to is that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here.
There's a rat. There's an Among Us. An imposter among us.
When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people.
All right.
The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
All right.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well.
Exactly.
Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
What is this confrère? Well, let me read this comment. Genshin. Yes, we have drugs, but not just the thrill of rolling characters and unlocking outfits. Indeed. We also have actual drugs. Fictional, but actual drugs as well. Yeah, it's a nice little, this is, characters. Your favorite anime waifus can get high while you get high rolling for them.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
It's like a double agent, triple agent.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might
that's
help,
a
you
little
could also
interesting.
pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
It's very interesting that they're like under the care of the organization who they probably think that their boss killed their dad.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
Leave it to me.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Let's see. Callus's case records. Nice, nice, nice. We obtained more info in our little book. Right, I guess we visit the Jacques family. Jacques' family. However, some very brightly colored machines. I love it. I love it's like needlessly brightly colored. Yeah, find a way to get there. So is this a town? I'm assuming it's like a small town. Oh, Malus, hello. You're here too. What's up?
It is settled then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
You're the best man.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
That child looks so mad. That kid looks so angry.
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Let's not bother her for now.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again.
I was gonna make a Breaking Bad joke, but I wasn't sure how I would make one.
He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callus came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Wait, does that mean someone ordered Jacques to take out Callus?
I don't know that for sure. But you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons.
He was also, like a drug dealer as well. Profiting off of off of that, but yes.
Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword, he must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
That's cute.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Alright, testimony from Jock's family. That was really cute. That went a lot better than I thought. I was actually like fully expecting us to have like an argument with them.
Are you okay, Navia?
Oh.
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next.
Are these tentacles?
Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way.
Okay.
So please don't worry.
I think these are jellyfish? I thought they were like octopus first. Okay. Everett says, road to hell is paved with good intentions. I've heard that before. Is it from... No, I don't want to sound dumb. But I've heard that before. It's mainly because my brother has said that to me sometimes. Anything else
I'll
with
leave
these?
my husband's case.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Spina.
And Miss Spina's friend. Okay. Okay, so I think we're going to talk to the suspects, and then I could probably end the stream here, probably. I'm not sure, unless you guys want me to keep going. I do not mind going until later. I really don't mind. It's more of, like, I need to check how long I've been streaming. So I think around the 3-hour mark is just like, okay, I'm done.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
Oh god, you have the Timaeus inflection. Everett says your brother knows all about hell, eh? Maybe? I don't know.
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
Okay, so it's not Timaeus's voice. I know the person who, like, okay, I don't know the person who voices Timaeus, but I can pick out his voice with any other NPC. It's not this one.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after?
The little Paimon reaction.
My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene.
It's a giant fish, just like right here.
But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other.
You know, maybe it is
not knowing
Timaeus.
what to say.
Just with a slightly different voice. Same acting. Everyone says turning to water dramatic? Heh, human body is already 80% water. What's an extra 20%?
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a 3rd person there who was turned into water?
It's very possible.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a 3rd person on the scene.
You know, this is very late saying this, but I think the reason why this town is just called Fish is because it's a fishing town. It's dumb, I know. Like, it's obvious. There's, like, fish stuff
yeah, that
everywhere.
makes a lot of sense.
But I kind of just noticed that.
So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys?
Like what I mean is that, I don't know, it's a fishing town, and the town is known for fishing, so they just named it Fish. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What you're saying is that Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from the other guys.
But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus.
You sound familiar.
Even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Okay. Alright. I love these swaying nets. Can I go through them? No, I can't. They just sway.
Teachers. You gotta invest a lot before you can start her.
Dog. Hello, dog. Hello, dog. Oh, what's your name? Luna Cielo. Oh, you're so cute. Look at the little doggo. Oh, go to the court of Fontaine. Okay, so we're going back to the city. Alright. Back to the city. No. I'm not doing a world quest. Not yet. Hey, yeah, look at little police outfit. That's adorable. That's really cute. I love how Fontaine is like low-key kind of like out of place from the rest of Teyvat. No, but like it kind of makes sense. It does make sense because Fontaine is obviously like very technologically advanced. Now, I was gonna make a joke about how like it's funny how Fontaine is very technologically advanced. Like we have guns and we have policemen and you can tell by just like the clothing and they have robots. But actually, no, that actually totally makes sense because the Industrial Revolution really was like that, where it was only really advanced in very select areas, even in, like, the rich countries. It was really only, like, the cities that you could actually see, like, the tech evolve. Meanwhile, like, the rural areas kind of stayed in, like, the 1700s until later. I'm saying it's good world building.
Thierry, it's me.
Thierry, okay.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the Guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
I don't like the way you speak.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callis did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up,
so does town.
clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
I am, like, half expecting him to, like, show us, like, his stash of, like, drugs, or, like, little drugs, and just, like, you wanna buy some synth? You wanna buy a synth?
Ah, yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Lyney's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it.
You sound extremely genuine. Yep, very, very genuine there. I totally believe that you were surprised, that you flabbergasted. I'm sure. I don't know. Florent is selling that loyalty a bit too hard. Yeah. No. Florent is being a bit too much of like a bootlicker, and Thierry is just like, oh man, I was so flabbergasted when that happened. I never in my life would I have imagined that this happened.
If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do was get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Damn, Navia, you're just gonna say that, okay?
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage.
Okay.
If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex.
Not really, but like, okay, sure, whatever, man.
Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation.
Thierry sounds kind of sus. Definitely, 100%. Like, look, maybe it was just the voice actor, like, not fully getting into the character, but the part where he's like, oh, I was flabbergasted when I found out people could be dissolved into the water, shocked, bamboozled. I was just like, sure, okay.
I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Also, his analogy was kind of dumb. Alright. Third person, Marcel. I love that name, by the way. I love. Oh my god, what's the name of. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? You don't have a name? No! Malgo doesn't have a name. In like one of the areas, there's one of the dogs, his name is Baguette, and I love that. It's so dumb. Why is every place highly dangerous? What do you mean highly dangerous? What do you mean? Is it underground? No, it's not. Okay. I guess I'll just fly down there. I'll just glide. I wonder how many of these, like, rails are, like, actually in use. Okay, it's, like, basically below me. Ah, there it is. I'll just, move over here. Bro, okay, why is everything highly dangerous? What? Is it because my AR is higher? Okay. Well, I was gonna say that when I walk into Mondstadt. Like, city of Mondstadt, highly dangerous.
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Ah, Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Old.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Baguette or Doggette? It's just Baguette. There's like a lot of people who, like, I can't tell whether or not they love or hate the fact that I named a dog Baguette. I find it adorable. I think it's really cute. Is there any hat in Genshin Impact you'd like to own? Navia's, maybe? Navia's hat is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I'm also a big fan of the top hats, so Lyney's hat is also a win for me.
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Too bad.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Oh man, I love how just like everybody in Fontaine are like theater kids, and true crime fanatics. It's hilarious. It's funny.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Drunk drama.
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there.
And every time they say Poisson, I just think of the croissant meme. Like, I went to get a croissant. Croissant.
If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel.
Whoops.
But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Traveler's looking a little, she looks like she doesn't believe a word he said.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
He's certainly using that I'm old excuse a lot.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Alright. Go over the clues. Okay, but first, dog. Ooh. Little dog. Doggle. Okay.
This can work. I'll just treat them as new samples.
Oh, hey, you're from Liyue. You're not from here. I can tell because your name. Oh, is it up there? We go up there? Right, there's some like stairs to go there. Okay, there's a ramp. No.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Yeah, none of them really stood out as a suspect. I don't know, I think the middle one is a bit of a suspect, but okay, sure.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway,
true.
Even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
Jacques' motive?
Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
If I was Jacques, I wouldn't have fired a shot at all.
Oh? And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callus? Could he guarantee his family's safety after killing Callus? That's a good one.
That's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father.
Seems the third person was the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Indeed. Michaela Rose says hi. Hello.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Thierry, whatever his name is, middle guy. I don't know, he's a top.
Thierry, you say?
Thierry, okay.
Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
I don't know, man. Maybe it was just like an English voice thing, but that delivery made him sound super, super sus.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Maybe it was someone else? Dang it! Man, I was so sure. Michaela says, it's nice to meet you. Let's see, Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter since it's just going to bring me back to the screen anyway if I get it wrong. I'll go with Florent.
Florent?
Florent.
It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
Fine, okay, it's the other guy, Marcel.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child.
It's always like that.
Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business? Who could it be?
Oh, are we doing the... Okay. I think... Okay. Sweet. Alright. This is a bit different. I love that this evidence, this information is just irrelevant. Let's see. Present at the banquet the day of the case. Responsible for official contract, according to him. Only the sufficiently rich could own such a thing. Since Marcel was the only one we could choose that wasn't... Nah, I don't think so. I'm gonna go with this one.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these 3, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the 3, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
He is someone who's very close to you, after all. And look, I've heard enough. I've heard enough cases to say that typically the people, typically the culprit, is the people that's like the closest to the victim. Typically, it's sad, but it's true. It's very common.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
The synth production base.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Sorry, the violins in this track. Nice.
Navia, here you are.
Ah, it's you.
I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Oh, hello?
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is
Oh?
a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Oh? Okay. Wait. Child?
What? Is that someone you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Maybe too well. It's a good one.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Okay, because I knew that Act 2 involved a court case with Child. I knew that. But, like, we've been, like, so hyper-focused with the stuff going on with Navia that I was kind of wondering, like, how's Child going to be involved in this? And I was, like, half expecting him to just show up. I was expecting him to just, show up. And I just love how it's like, no, just this guy just comes up and is like, hey, so there's a court case going on with this harbinger. It's funny. Everett says they're putting a child on trial. No, it's his code name is Child. Child with an E at the end. I don't know why that's his code name, but that's his code name. Let's see, Nomad says, uncles, man. Hamlet, Lion King, the list goes on. Yeah. It must be rough for all of the fictional uncles out there. It's really rough.
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
Let's split up.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to Irenaeus while I go investigate that place. I'm confident in my combat abilities. Trust me, I'm a lot stronger than you think. I've fought gods before. It's gonna be fun.
Just as expected of my partner. Since this is
Also,
a trial
wow, there is no
about
fighting
the
in this
serial
entire story.
disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his
Irenaeus.
home base wide open.
Wait, since this is a trial, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving it. Ah, true.
You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit.
Oh.
I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence.
It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
Leave it to me.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lyney's trial.
Hey.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
Hey, the other guy's back. Plot twist, the culprit was Merluce all the time. That would be so, like, I was gonna say funny, but it would also be pretty cool. Or what about the other guy? I think his name is like Silver or something. What if he's the culprit? I don't know. He kind of disappeared for a good chunk of this part of the story.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
Plot twist, the culprit was Paimon all along. Plot twist, the villain of the entire game was Paimon.
See you then!
Alright, suspect analysis. Alright, so, it's, let me just wait until it loads.
Now that Navia has set out for
okay.
Irenaeus, we should also get going.
It's like
the location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Okay, so this is actually a pretty. Oh my god, this music! Oh man, God, it's so pretty. I'm in love with it. Okay, so yeah, what I was gonna say. This is actually a very good spot to stop the stream. I think it's a very good spot. Oh boy, Act 2 is absolutely... Again, I like just played it, of course. I mean, I haven't even finished it. But so far, it's so good. Whether or not I can say it's better than Act 1, I don't know if I can say that. Mostly because Act 1 focused so much on this funky little man who has stolen my heart. I focused so much on him, and I love him so much. So I mean, I am biased, I'll admit. Just honestly, just like both of these have been absolutely incredible so far. I mentioned this when I finished the last stream, when I finished Act 1, where I said that, like, I don't know whether I'm just more into this, like, detective murder mystery story, or the writing is, like, actually getting better. Probably both. I will say it's the detective murder mystery court trials is definitely something that definitely contributes to why I like it so much. Like I said, I'm on like a giant Bungo Stray Dogs like brain rot right now, so I'm just like,
so
man,
long as the audience thinks that seeing is believing, there's no limit to the number of tricks I can pull off.
So like, I don't know. So it's probably because like that style, that type of storytelling just appeals to me a little bit more. Not that the like Sumeru was bad. I loved Sumeru so much, and I wish I streamed it. It was, when it came out, it was like straight up like my favorite of all of the Archon quests. But I don't know. I'm having so much fun with this. There's basically zero fighting, but like I'm still invested with everything that's going on. Just the scene between Navia and Uvillette was like incredible, absolutely beautiful. And yeah, now we're gonna see what's up with Child. Like again, I knew Child was going to be involved in Act 2. I was wondering when he was going to show up, but yeah, I guess we're just going there. But yeah, no, okay. So I've been talking for a little too long. Actually, let me bring the Sealy. Bring the Sealy back home. Hopefully, I don't have to fight anything. I need what? What is this? Do I
Cascade.
Do I need to put a hydro? Nope, I don't. Okay. Can I... Oh. That didn't do anything. Ah, whatever. I thought it was gonna be easy, it didn't. Okay, okay, okay. But for real, I've been here for too long. This is a pretty good place to end the stream. There's Celestia. Right up there. Okay, no, I need to stop now. Oh my god. Nomad says, I wanted to buy a poisson. So I went to Poisson to buy a poisson. But, yeah. I was also thinking that after I finish Act 2 of Fontaine, because I think it's like all that is out right now, we could do Lyney's story quest as well. Yes, we'll get to Golden Slumber eventually. I'll go back to that. We have to go back to that, because that's how all of these streams started. But yeah, I'm talking for way too long. As for the next time I'm gonna be able to stream, I don't think I'll be able to stream tomorrow. Probably Monday. I will probably stream on Monday around the same time, hopefully, as long as nothing bad happens. Because, yeah, Monday I should be free. Unless they suddenly give me a mountain of homework. And if that's the case,
I wonder what my dear sister Lynette is doing right now.
Missing me to
Missing
death,
me to
I'm sure.
death, I'm sure.
Okay, but... Alright, that's it. We're going back to the Infinite Void. Whop. Well, yeah, no, that's it. I hope you guys like the stream, as always. Oh, this was pretty short, actually. It was like 2 hours and 30 minutes. That was pretty short. The last stream was like 3 hours long. But I think I'm done for tonight. But yeah, like, as always, thank you so much for sticking with the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a blast playing this. I didn't think I would love Navia as much as I ended up liking her. I really didn't. Because Lyney and Lynette stole my heart. And so then when I learned that we were pretty much just gonna not talk to them and move on to Navia, I was like, well, that kind of sucks. But Navia's great. Navia's great already. But yeah, no, that's it. Thank you for sticking through the stream. Hopefully I should do this again on Monday. I really do want to finish this act because, well, mostly because everybody has already played it. But also just for you guys as well. So, yeah, no, that's pretty much it. See ya.